You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast.
This episode is brought to you by Essentia. A better you starts with better hydration. Essentia is on a mission to inspire people to do what matters most. Their proprietary ionization process transforms water from any source into ionized alkaline water, providing water that's 99.9% pure with a pH of 9.5 or higher. Essentia Overachieving H2O, the #1 ionized alkaline water. Shop now.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Hey guys, Matt here. Before we get started in today's game, I just want to do a quick reminder about our Geek Bowl meetup coming up right here in Chicago. It's going to be Thursday, March 5th. A lot of good give us a little bit of details about that party, a little appetizer.
Yeah, so it's going to be at Bar Louie, Printers Row. And as Matt said, it's going to be the Thursday before Geek Bowl. 7 p.m. till question mark, right, Neal? Because all the best parties go till question mark.
Right, we don't want to confirm when it's going to end because we don't want the party to end.
It's going to be a human petting zoo.
It's going to be it should be a good time. We're going to have karaoke as part of the event, which should be fun. I might be able to get bullied into doing that if you want.
Yeah,
won't be
two full cash bars. There's going to be some room for games, on-demand T-shirt printing. Our friend Jason Borsom at Liquid Courage Entertainment is going to be doing the karaoke and the DJing.
Yep, but it's not just going to be featuring us, your favorite podcast, of course, but a couple other great trivia podcasts. Why don't you run
your
down?
Second and third and fourth favorite podcast, probably.
Yeah, well, how can you choose after the first?
Yeah,
right,
Bill Simmons will be there.
It's
right?
That's right. It's really a potpourri of partying. So you have us, Triviality of Complete the List, Misinformation, Sports Trivia Face-Off, Something Birds, Trivial Warfare, and then, of course, if you're a member of Learned League, you might be familiar with the Illuminati. So it's just going to be a lot of fun, just a real casual, fun meetup with some great food, drinks, laughs, and hopefully, just a good time.
So if you're coming out to Geek Bowl, hopefully we'll see you there.
Yeah, so just follow the link to RSVP so we know you guys are coming, and now let's get on to the show.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality. The cream of the crop!
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. It's a very empty studio in here. This is Neal, and I'm here with Jeff.
And that's it.
So Matt is in Los Angeles, as we know, but if you want even more details, he is at a Patagonia store out there learning a little bit about canteens and how much water they can hold. It was very specific, but we kind of hung up after he was halfway through. So he should be doing okay. And Ken is in here as well. He's actually getting his beard trimmed. I think for the better. I don't know.
It takes a while.
There's
a lot there.
They have to use what are those things called? Cleavers or something? Or
they use like the hedge trimmers.
The hedge trimmers, that's what it is. And a big burly guy kind of like very slowly uses the hedge trimmers millimeter by millimeter. So hopefully he's doing okay. He might join us later. But yeah, so we're here today. We have some very, very special guests that we're excited to introduce. So I guess we'll start with our guests and we'll get to our host. Our first guest is coming to us from Eastern Kentucky. She's a Cruiserweight champion on Patreon, and that is Ann Harkins. How's it going, Ann?
Hey, it's going great. I'm really excited to be on here.
We're excited to have you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I live in Eastern Kentucky with my husband and our two kitty cats, Rafiki and Abu. And my husband and I are both music teachers. He just got home a minute ago from his choir concert, and I teach elementary music. So it's K-6, general music. It's really an awesome job. I get to sing, dance, make music with kids all day. It's pretty cool. Love what I do.
That's wonderful. I will say from my personal experience, and Jeff as well, we had very passionate band director and choir director at our high school that we're still friends with to this day. So it's a very special relationship, and they really kind of formed all of our creative minds from when we were younger to now. And there's nothing like a great arts teacher. So we appreciate what you do.
Oh, thanks. That's great.
Yeah. And thank you for your Patreon support as well. And just by happenstance, her partner today, who reached out to be on the show, is also from Kentucky, from Northern Kentucky, and that's Seth Martin. How's it going, Seth?
Hey, doing great. Living the dream.
Hey, that's all you can ask for, right? So what is the dream you're living? What are you up to?
I'm a assistant project manager in construction up here in Northern Kentucky. So running construction jobs from start to finish, oversee schedule, all that fun stuff. So, excited to have another Kentucky. I say Northern Kentucky. Cincinnati's easier to say to people since I live so close, but Cincinnatians don't want to accept us. So my girlfriend's over there. She's excited that I said that because she's from Cincinnati. So, girlfriend's a nurse, construction management major. Just excited and love some trivia. So great to have some fun.
Awesome. Us too. Well, we appreciate you being here, and hopefully with your construction background, you and Ann have the blueprint to success. You like that, Jeff?
I do like that.
That was good.
Yeah, it's a little poster there we can make later. Our special guest host today reached out. He is also from Chicago, and we're very, very excited to have him here. He is a Patreon supporter at the United States Champion level, and that's Sean Huang. How's it going, Sean?
Good. Yeah, my name is Sean. I've lived in Chicago over 10 years now. I'm a doctor, currently doing a fellowship in geriatrics. Love you guys' show. I think at this point I've listened to every episode over the past year or so.
That's dedication.
I really like it. Me and my wife play trivia about once every week or two here locally, sometimes just the two of us, sometimes with family or friends. Other than that, pretty boring. It's my first time hosting a trivia game, so I hope it goes well.
Well, we're excited. Yes, we're really excited to have you here. And you're a doctor, so we have to listen to your advice. So whatever your advice is today, we will listen to.
I don't know about that.
Hey, can you look at something for me?
Yeah. This podcast is just going to turn to all of us pointing to the camera and saying, "What is this?"
Should I be worried?
That mole on your back looks a little suspect. So. Thank you, all of you, for joining us. We're really excited to get going. We had some team names picked out before we start, and since Ann and Seth are both from Kentucky, Eastern and Northern, we thought it'd be fun for them to be the Kentucky Connection. Is that okay with you guys?
Perfect.
Sounds good.
All right. And I don't know what you've been reading lately, Jeff, but I've been reading a really good book. There's a screenwriter who I'm a big fan of named David Koepp. He wrote Jurassic Park, War of the Worlds, the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, and he has his first novel out called Cold Storage. And it's about a very deadly fungus. So I thought maybe we could be the fun guys today.
Nice.
All right. So we'll be the fun guys. The episode today is brought to you by Cold Storage by David Koepp.
You always do that.
He doesn't need the money, but check out the book, though. It's good. All right. Well, let's throw it to the rules guy. He is inside a vat of fungus right now, and let's see how he sounds.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
The cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Very muffled, Jeff.
Yeah, but consummate professional, always working through it.
I mean, the man was half drowning, and he still managed to get the rules out. So, all right, Sean, feel free to take it away. It's me and Jeff, fun guys, versus Ann and Seth, the Kentucky Connection.
All right. Question number 1. On July 2012, a life-changing event happened to Aruj Khan of Chicago, leading to his death by cyanide poisoning the day after. The same event occurred to Abraham Shakespeare of Florida on November 15th, 2006, and his body was found under a concrete slab 3 years later. It also happened to Doris Murray of Georgia in April 2007, but she was stabbed to death a year later. What happened to each of these people that presumably played a part in fatefully changing the course of their lives?
We're going to lock in over here, so you guys can feel free to talk out loud.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to help me. I don't know.
They got married.
Ooh, okay. I like it.
All right, let's go with that.
Yeah.
They got married.
Okay.
Yep.
They got married. Jeff and I kind of looked at each other, and we thought, man, these are really crazy circumstances to happen to someone, especially the same event to each of them. And we just looked at each other and we kind of did a sign with our fingers like money. And we're like, maybe they won the lottery. So we said, won the lottery.
They won the lottery.
Oh, nice. It sold it for us when the one person got stabbed because we're like, I could see someone trying to steal the money from someone else.
I kind of remember the guy from Chicago. Like, I think they, like somebody thought they would just straight up inherit the money if the other person was dead, and they got poisoned by a family member, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
I kind of remember that from a while back.
That's terrible.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Just keep drinking that cyanide I'm giving you right there.
Yes, this delicious bubbly drink.
Yes. Feel free to go to question 2, Sean.
All right, question number 2. Nah, nah, nah. According to the Beyonce song released in 2009, what is the female version of a hustler? Of a hustler? Of a hustler?
Well, we just were brainstorming a lot of words. We couldn't place the song, or I don't know, but Seth seemed kind of confident at the end.
Yeah. We were going through like a player, and then I think the female player is a diva, so we locked in with diva.
Okay. We weren't sure. We were talking about Beyonce. We thought it was the song "Single Ladies," which could be completely wrong.
No, it's you should have put a ring on it. Whatever that song.
Single Ladies.
Is it Single Ladies?
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
Which now maybe I wonder if it's just Single Ladies are the female version. Anyway, we weren't sure. We didn't know the lyrics that well. I know the dance, but that doesn't help us. So we just said female hustlers, put a ring on it. So we weren't sure.
All right. Splendid work, Kentucky. The answer is a diva.
Wow.
Yes.
Nice job.
Question number 3. Which civil rights leader was the target of an attempted murder on Christmas Day, 1956, when unknown persons placed 16 sticks of dynamite below his bedroom window in Birmingham, Alabama? His home was heavily damaged after the explosions, yet he somehow escaped unscathed. A police officer, who is also a member of the Ku Klux Klan, advised this man as he was walking out that if I were you, I'd get out of town as quick as I could, to which the man responded that he was not raised to run. Who is this resilient reverend for whom the Birmingham airport was partly renamed in his honor?
All right, we are locked in.
I feel bad if it was Martin Luther and we didn't say it, because I don't have anything better. And I'd be pretty mad if it was him and we didn't say it. So
yeah, we were stuck on him just because he was a reverend, and we know he was assassinated maybe about 10 years after that, but we're not sure.
So you're going to go with MLK?
I think so.
Yeah, you know, we had a very, very similar conversation. We said we'd feel terrible if it wasn't MLK, and it was like right on our nose, and we couldn't think of. We thought of Jesse Jackson and Malcolm X possibly, but we just thought it made the most sense for Martin Luther King, so that's who we went with.
So the answer is Fred Shuttlesworth.
Ooh, did not know that.
Yeah. All right, this is a 3-part question, and you must get all 3 correct. And I need first and last names.
Uh-oh.
Part 1, who wrote Wuthering Heights? Part 2, who wrote Jane Eyre? Part 3, who wrote Agnes Grey?
Okay, so we're looking for the authors of Agnes Grey, Jane Eyre, and Wuthering Heights?
That's correct.
Okay, all right, we're going to mute. Who wrote Wuthering Heights?
Bronte.
Emily Bronte?
Is that? I think it's Charlotte's only book.
Charlotte Bronte?
I think it's Charlotte's only work.
Okay, yeah, no, that's right.
Because Emily was the one who was prolific, right?
Possibly, I'm not sure. So, could these all be Bronte?
Yeah, there were Bronte sisters.
Okay. Jane Eyre. I feel like Jane Eyre, I thought that was a female writer too.
It is. It's escaping me at the moment.
It's not like Emily Bronte?
It could be.
Man, are there 3 Bronte sisters? Is that what the question is?
I'm wondering about that, yeah.
So Emily, I kind of like that train of thought. Emily Bronte, Charlotte Bronte.
And who's the other Bronte?
Well, I was telling Seth that my sister and I made a pact, and I was going to read Jane Eyre this summer, and I didn't. So that doesn't help me. I'm thinking it's the Bronte sisters. We were talking about it. I'm thinking their names are Emily, Charlotte, and the third one. And I don't think I have it. So we could guess that. Oh, It's not like Ann, is it? Because that's my name. Is that Is it Ann?
Do it. It's perfect.
I don't think that's it, but
I don't got a better guess.
Okay, then let's go, and I may not even have them in the right order. Wuthering Heights, Emily Bronte, Jane Eyre, Charlotte Bronte, and then the third, Agnes Grey, I think that was Anne Bronte.
Perfect.
So it was funny. We said Charlotte, or Jeff said Charlotte Bronte. I think only wrote one book, and I said, the Jane Eyre. I was like, that sounds like a Bronte book too. And I was like, isn't there an Emily Bronte? And he said, yeah, there's an Emily Bronte. And I was like, oh, they're sisters. What if there's a third sister? And we didn't know who that was. And for some reason, I think it probably is because you're on the show, Anne, but we said maybe it's Anne Bronte. So we put Anne.
I bet I got him in the wrong order.
Emily Bronte wrote Wuthering Heights. Charlotte Bronte wrote Jane Eyre. And Anne Bronte wrote Agnes Grey.
Oh, wow. We're on the same wavelength. All of us.
Good pull.
Number 5. What do you get when you cross a European raspberry, a European blackberry, an American dewberry, and a loganberry?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Is there like a special berry? Is there another berry that's not listed here? Like a crazy name? Yeah, I mean, it could be a berry, some sort of berry pie. What other types of berries are there? Like fake berries?
Mixed berries.
Yeah. I don't know what acai is, but maybe we just say acai.
I don't know either, but it's fun to say.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, cool.
All right, we're locked in unsuccessfully, we think, but...
And do you want to go with what you said? Because I don't have anything.
I'm just wondering if they're all maybe they all share a name, in common. And the only thing I came up with was gooseberry, but that might actually be a type of berry. So, but we don't have anything else.
No.
So I think we'll go with gooseberry.
So yeah, Jeff and I were first thinking like, is raspberry, blackberry like the first letter of the berry? Maybe it's in some sort of code or something. And there's another berry, and we weren't on that track. We thought maybe it could be like some sort of pie. And then Jeff just said, maybe we don't even know what the acai berry is, but maybe it's like an amalgamation of all of them. So we just said acai.
So the answer is a boysenberry.
Oh, boysen. I've heard of that.
All right, number 6. You find a nice, cozy village in the middle of the countryside where you decide to relax in the grass and start listening to more of your favorite trivia podcasts. All of a sudden, you are clobbered on the back of the head, and when you wake up, you find yourself bound and tied to a stake. To your left is an eager man holding a torch. To your right is a firing squad with their guns pointed straight at you. It turns out that trivia is illegal in this village. However, the head constable does allow you to give one statement. If it's true, they will burn you at the stake. If it's false, they will execute you by firing squad. You think of a way to get out of this particularly fiery situation. What do you say?
So according to this riddle, you can't say something that's true. You can't say something that's false. So what would that be that isn't true and isn't false? It has to be in the middle.
Is there something that's both true and false? I guess I presume you would just die immediately.
And he said statement, and he said that this fiery situation, an eagerman, I don't know what an eagerman is.
I'm not quite sure.
I don't know. I don't know what is not true and also not false. What is that? That's got to be a vocabulary word or something, right? Like some sort of statement that is not true, not false, like pleading the fifth, maybe.
We're trying to go with like a double negative kind of riddle, like a I'm lying, or this is a false statement, or I don't know. I'm lying. I don't know what you want to go with.
I think that's fine. I think I got lost somewhere in the riddle, and that sounds like a great answer. All
right, we're locking in with I'm lying.
Yep. We had no idea. We thought it was a very clever riddle, but we couldn't figure out what type of word is both not true and not false. So we just said to get out of a firing squad, you would say cream of the crop.
Okay. All right. So you're supposed to say, you will execute me by firing squad. Because if that ends up being true, then they can't execute you by firing squad, because then they have to burn you at the stake.
Gotcha.
Ooh, that's
And if
rough.
it's false, then they have to burn you at. Well,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Oh, you've hit our
Yeah.
riddle bone there, because that's tough. That's a good one though.
Number 7. Can you keep up with the Kardashians? Which daughter of Kris Jenner was married to Scott Disick from 2006 to 2015?
Okay.
right.
You guys can discuss. We're actually going to lock in on that one.
I can lock in if do you know it, Ann?
No, you go ahead. I trust you. Well, I think
All
we
right.
can talk, but it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's Kourtney, but
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah.
okay. Kourtney Kardashian is our answer.
All right. And we are going to go with Courtney as well.
The answer is Kourtney with a K.
Kim, I
Number
believe,
8.
was Kanye, and
She
then
was still married to Kanye.
Chloe was Laura Odom, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Someone in the crop said never talk about the Kardashians, but it's trivia, so it's fine.
All right. Number 8. According to baseball writer and historian Christina Carl, who coined the phrase, players like Joey Gallo or Adam Dunn would be masters of the 3 true outcomes of baseball, all 3 of which do not involve the defense beyond the pitcher or the catcher. The 3 true outcomes have become sort of a flashpoint in baseball these days, and some have argued that the game has become boring as a result. What are the 3 true outcomes of baseball?
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know baseball well enough, so
Um,
I'll lean on you.
All right, we're going to lock in, actually.
There's a winner, a loser, and no crying. I have no idea.
All right, we'll go first in this one. So I used to play baseball. I'm not like into baseball that much anymore, so I don't know like all the ins and outs and the statistics. But when he said the phrase that you use, Sean, the best outcomes, I always think of a no-hitter for a pitcher, the perfect game, and I think there's also a complete game. I could be wrong on that third one. I know perfect game and no-hitter might be one, but the third answer we have is complete game. So those are our 3 answers.
Okay, so going off being from Northern Kentucky / Cincinnati with Adam Dunn, it was either a strikeout, a walk, or a home run for him. So we're going to say strikeout, walk, home run.
All right. The answer is strikeout, walk, or home run.
Woo!
Woohoo! Nice.
Yeah, we were way off on that one, Jeff.
Number 9. Simu Liu has been tabbed to portray the superhero Shang-Chi for the MCU in the future film Shang-Chi and the Legend of the 10 Rings. Prior to this, Simu Liu is perhaps best known for playing Jung in what Canadian sitcom that could be seen on Netflix?
Canadian sitcom on Netflix. So I don't know if that means it's a Netflix original or it's just airing on Netflix.
That Seth named, that was a Canadian show that we were sure it was Degrassi. And then we were just but we thought that might be a little too early. And then we were just naming other shows that may or may not be Canadian, and we weren't getting too far. So, do you want to go Degrassi?
Yeah, that's fun.
Okay.
Yeah,
We'll do it.
We had a very similar conversation. We said Degrassi. We thought that was too old, and the only other show we could think of was Schitt's Creek, which we love, and we were figuring we're going to get it wrong and we're going to be crying, as Moira would say, like a babe. But we just put Schitt's Creek because we didn't know.
All right. The answer is Kim's Convenience.
Oh, yeah, I know that. Now I know that show. Yeah, I've never seen it, but I know the. Yeah, man.
All right. Number 10. What perfectionist religious communal society founded in New York in 1848 had members who believed that Jesus had already returned to earth, allowing for them to bring about Jesus's millennial kingdom themselves? This community dissolved a little over 30 years later, yet managed to successfully transition themselves into one of the world's largest designers of stainless steel tableware and cutlery, especially in the food service industry, where it is also the largest supplier of dinnerware in North America.
I think we can lock in.
Golly, I wish I could just name a stainless steel dinnerware company.
No, I don't have anything.
Okay, we'll go Rada.
Okay,
I'm
that's
gonna
fine by me.
I'm going to defer to Jeff because he knew it right away. I have no idea.
Yeah, I think this is Oneida.
The answer is Oneida.
Nice, Jeff. Nice. All right. Well, it looks like after the first round, it's all tied up at 40 points. So Team Kentucky Connection and Team Fun Guys are all tied. But we have a special guest here in the studio who just arrived from his beard trimming, and that is Ken. How's it going, Ken?
Oh, hey, guys. How you doing?
Doing well.
You said I was having a beard trimming, but that's actually not correct.
What were you doing?
So the Blackhawks, obviously, they didn't get off to the start that we were all hoping for this season.
Right.
I've been being an armchair coach, screaming at my TV at the top of my lungs, screaming, shoot, shoot, like the fans do. And then after the game ended, wouldn't you know it, Coach Jeremy Carlton was on the phone. He gave me a call. Said, I've been listening to you through your Alexa.
Right.
We'd like you to come down to the UC and give the boys a pep talk because we like what we're hearing.
Good.
So that's what I was doing.
Congratulations.
And now I'm back, and hopefully the boys will play hard on the puck and shoot the puck and win some board battles, you know?
Yeah, the old board battles.
Yeah.
You remind me of the hunter in Jurassic Park. It's, shoot, shoot, shoot. After that first round, before we go to the swing round, Jeff and I were just talking the other day here just about Patreon and how we have some Patreon supporters on the show today, and just how grateful we are to all of you. And we just wanted to talk a little bit more about that and how much it means to us, Jeff.
All right. So yeah, we always like to plug Patreon because obviously that's the support structure for our show, but it really goes beyond that. I mean, if you really like and enjoy our show, our show is free. And I can't imagine you think that our show has no costs. So if you would like to support us, you can do it a couple different ways. You could spend nothing, just leave a review, tell everyone about your favorite podcast. I presume that's us. And if it's not, don't tell me. Just email, say thanks. We love hearing from listeners. You can email us directly. You can reach us on Facebook, Twitter. We're pretty available in all those places. If you have means to support us and want to support us, spend something, support us on Patreon. There's a lot of different tiers, levels, perks. You can buy our merchandise at inktoonscreen.com. All those things support our show. They keep us growing, becoming a better show. We had a recent Patreon episode. We kind of did a Parks and Rec style Know Your Boo. And one of the questions that came up on there is, what would your partner, other guys in the studio want to do as their dream job? And I think a few of us really would want to do this full time if it was totally possible. Mm-hmm. We will never get there without the support of our fans. So,
and we're on our way through our fans as well.
We really are. The show's it's staggering. I never thought we'd get to the level we're at, and I can't imagine that we wouldn't be able to grow more at this point. So, if you want to support us, you can do it in those ways.
Yeah, and just to echo what you said, we're really the podcast equivalent of those little really condensed towels that you put in water. And if you give it enough water, it will turn into a sloth or whatever else it might be.
I love Neal's metaphors.
So I'm not good at metaphors, but I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. So we're steadily rising the water in our vase or vase, whatever you want to call it. So thank you very much for your support, and especially to our Patreon supporters that are on the program with us today.
Yeah, so I just ate an entire bowl of ramen in the studio here quietly, and now I'm finished, so let's move on to the swing round.
Yeah, we're going to have Ken be our official scorekeeper now. So Kentucky Connection versus Fun Guys, Ken, just 40-40. All right, so Sean, take it away. What's our swing round today?
All right. The swing round is going to be colorful terms. All answers will begin with a color, and no color will be used twice. Mm-hmm. All right, that'll make sense. All right, number 1, 5-zone heart rate-based interval training, focusing on strength and cardio. Basic membership allows 4 classes a month for $59. Number 2, Scott Lang's nemesis in the movie Ant-Man, who also has a shrinking suit. Number 3, kids show originally hosted by Steve until he was replaced by Donovan in 2002. Number 4,
Donovan.
Derived from a reference by the Roman poet Horace in his Ars Poetica, the form or technique of language which should have a natural flow of speech and grammar, yet is so excessively dramatic and ornate that it draws attention to itself. Number 5, probably the most valuable non-promotional Magic the Gathering card. adds 3 mana of any single color of your choice to your mana pool, then is discarded. Number 6. Series of films starring Inspector Jacques Clouseau. Number 7. An example of this is when you tell your friend that their shoes are so cute when you really hate them in order to not hurt their feelings. Number 8. For about half its distance, it forms the boundary between Oklahoma and Texas. Number 9. A sycophant, bootlicker, someone who acts in a grossly obsequious way. And number 10, the 1966-1967 TV series starring Van Williams and Bruce Lee.
Welcome to From Beneath the Hollywood Sign. If you love old movies, Hollywood history, or the golden age of filmmaking, you've come to the right place. This is the podcast that talks about amazing stories of Tinseltown from another era and fascinating conversations with writer-producer Steve Cubine and actress-writer Nan McNamara.
One particular argument, he ended up dislocating Ava's jaw. Ava, she was such a tough cookie. Rather than cry or scream or anything like that,
Or call the police.
She should have, exactly. What does she do? She takes an ashtray and she knocks him over the head and knocks him unconscious. That's how she fought back. She didn't know what to do, so she called Louis B. Mayer. I think I've killed Howard Hughes. What do I do?
Revisit a time when the pictures were still big and everyone was ready for their close-up. When you want Tyrone Power instead of Tom Hardy, Jennifer Jones instead of Jennifer Lawrence, or Robert Mitchum rather than Robert Pattinson, then From Beneath the Hollywood Sign is the gin joint for you.
And after a little deliberation, all the answers are locked in.
All right, Sean, take it away.
All right. No, number 1, 5-zone heart rate-based interval training focusing on strength and cardio. What do you guys got?
We went with Orange Theory.
We said Orange Theory as well.
The answer is Orange Theory. Number 2, Scott Lang's nemesis in Ant-Man, who also has a shrinking suit.
Yeah, we figured that this was the Yellow Jacket.
Oh, we said Yellow Hornet.
Dang.
Couldn't remember exactly.
We should have got that. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Yellow Jacket. Number 3, kids show originally hosted by Steve until he was replaced by Donovan.
We thought this was Blue's Clues.
We agreed.
Yep.
Nice job.
So Jeff was raising a stink though here in the studio because there was another guy, wasn't there?
I thought there was a Joe.
Oh,
I agree.
I agree. There was.
Why you guys know so much about Blue's Clues?
My
That's
sister,
my question.
my sister was like 4 when this show was on.
All right,
It's like a triviality scandal. Was Joe on Blue's Clues?
Okay, go ahead with the next one. Sorry.
All right, number 4, former technique of language which should have a natural flow of speech is so excessively dramatic and ornate that draws attention to itself.
Yeah, we didn't know. We didn't know this one. Jeff just said what, Jeff?
We figured maybe this was rosy language.
We didn't know either.
We passed.
I was thinking flowery. I wrote down purple verse last minute.
Oh, that was really close. It's purple prose.
Oh. Never heard of that. That's cool.
I looked it up, by the way. The character was Joe. Donovan was the first name of the actor. So. And apparently Steve is Steve in both cases. So
there you go.
Steve is infinite.
Number 5, most valuable non-promotional magic card. Adds 3 mana of a single color to your mana pool.
Jeff had a lot of trouble with this one.
Yeah, and it also drains all of your money out of your bank account if you buy one. We said Black Lotus.
We said a Black Knight.
Yeah.
That is a magic card, just for the record.
It's hard to combine words and not hit upon the name of a magic card.
Yeah, like 20,000 in, and there's basically any combination.
It is a Black Lotus.
Dang.
A series of films starring Inspector Jacques Clouseau.
That would be Pink Panther.
Agreed.
Panther. Yep.
Nice job. Pink Panther. Number 7, when you tell your friends that their shoes are so cute, but you really hate them in order to not hurt their feelings.
We figured this was a little white lie.
Yeah, this took us a while, but yeah, we finally came up with a white lie.
It is a white lie. Good job. Good job. For about half its distance, it forms the boundary between Oklahoma and Texas.
This one we weren't sure. We were kind of going through the colors, kind of how I go through the alphabet, and we noticed there wasn't a red anywhere, and I could just imagine Clint Eastwood going like, cross the Red River. So we said Red River.
Yeah. Thankfully, I can thank my college football days for the Red River rivalry. That's hard to say. But versus Oklahoma and Texas. So Red River.
I also learned about this from the Red River rivalry between Oklahoma and Texas. Red River.
We just fell into that one. We did not know that one at all. Sweet. All right.
Number 9, a sycophant, bootlicker, someone who acts in a grossly obsequious way.
Well, we figured this was a brown noser.
Oh, that sounds good.
That's a good one. Yeah, we didn't have anything. Yep.
Yeah, it is a brown noser. Good job. Number 10, TV series starring Van Williams and Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee was awesome on this show. If you get the chance to check some footage out, especially when he's doing screen tests, that would be the Green Hornet.
Didn't have anything.
Nope.
Green Hornet.
All right, after that round, it looks like Fun Guys got 9 out of 10 there, so their points are up to 85. And Kentucky Connection got 5 as well, so they're at 65.
All right, number 1. Spoiler alert. Final Fantasy VII features a particular scene where a flower girl kneels in the middle of an ancient city surrounded by crystals, eyes closed and praying. The next thing you know it, a giant sword comes down through her chest, whereby she slumps forward and crumbles to the ground. Her theme starts to play, and all of a sudden, gamers around the world start to cry. Who is this relatively bland character whose death as of October 2019 ranks number 3 in IGN's most unforgettable video game moments?
Number 3? Yeah. Get out of here. Number 1, I was sobbing.
Wow.
It was funny. I don't know anything really about this game.
Do you know the answer though?
No, I don't.
Okay,
well, he was reading the question. I'm like, oh, that sounds nice. And all of a sudden, the sword goes through her chest. I was like, whoa. Okay, sorry. So if Jeff, you know it? All right, we're going to lock in.
I
don't know this franchise.
Zelda. I have no idea. I don't know this at all.
That's fine.
All right. Jeff knew this one right away, and him and Ken were excited. I did not know it, so I'll let Jeff take it.
It's hard not to jump in here for me.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess maybe probably 2 answers are acceptable. Because there was a sort of translation issue with this character, but we said Aerith.
Yeah, I cried too. The answer is Aerith.
Nice, Jeff.
Yeah, and what Jeff was referring to is in the original English release, it's spelled Eris, but in subsequent releases, they switched it to Aerith.
All right, number 2. The musical Waitress on Broadway features songs and lyrics written by what Brave singer?
We are locked in.
Is it the movie Brave?
Is it Sarah Bareilles? Sarah Bareilles, I think. Is that her name?
That's a name. Does she sing a song called Brave? Can you sing it?
Not on a podcast.
Maybe in the shower later when nobody's listening.
Yeah, I think that's her. I think that's the name.
I'm down. Let's do it.
Okay.
Yep, that would be Sarah Bareilles.
Nice. Good job.
Thanks.
Yeah. I was fortunate enough to see her on Broadway with her in the title role.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I know she did a small stint on stage there. Was it fun?
That was great. Me and my wife, we loved it.
That's great.
Right, number 3. In August 2019, Iceland unveiled a plaque dedicated to the death of Akjakul, also affectionately known as OK. The plaque reads, "A letter to the future. OK is the first Icelandic blank to lose its status as a blank. In the next 200 years, all our blank are expected to follow the same path. The monument is to acknowledge that we know what is happening and what needs to be done. Only you know if we did it. August 2019, 415 parts per million CO2. What was Akjakul?"
We're locked in.
It was a glacier, right? Does that sound right? It was the ice had melted, and they're acknowledging that climate change, we haven't really done much about it, but
let's do it.
I think it's a glacier. There's not another big ice thing I think it's glacier.
Yeah, if I didn't love Iceland before this, this certainly put a smile on my face. It was a glacier.
Glacier. Good job, guys.
Good job, man.
All the headlines were like, Iceland makes a plaque for deceased glacier.
Yeah, and on our trip, we didn't actually see this plaque, but we did visit a glacier, and we saw how it had retreated back like
about a kilometer and a half.
Yeah, it was crazy.
We were just standing in a pool of water.
Very discouraging.
Number 4.
Glacier.
What 5-letter word is defined as the usually illegal action or practice of lending money at unreasonably high interest rates? Nowadays, someone who practices this is known as a loan shark. They often have strict terms of collection upon failure and operate outside of local authority.
We're locked in.
5-letter word.
And what do you got?
I don't think I have it.
I'm thinking of like a bounty, I don't even know, like a illegal lending loan shark.
Do you want to just put bounty?
Yeah, sure.
We're going to go bounty for lack of anything else.
Okay, so this is something that I do work in the financial sector, but this is not a term I'm familiar with in that regard. I think it's actually maybe a biblical prohibition. I sort of remember there being a fight between like the church and the Medicis over loans, and it's usury is the thing that people were concerned about, being a loan shark.
Yeah, the answer is usury.
Oh, I wasn't gonna get that.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, Jeff got very excited. First when there was a magic question, then when there was a glacier question, then just to top it off, he got really excited when there was a money question. So,
Number 5. Who is the personal trainer who became best known for starring in and creating P90X? Some of his quotes include, "Bring it, do your best and forget the rest, and get your little bucket nearby, my friends. This routine is X City."
P90X.
That's not the typo Billy.
No, it's not Billy Blanks. It's a white dude. He was the inventor of South Beach diet, which is basically P90X before P90X became that. And I can't.
South Beach diet.
I can't remember his name. P90X was the hardcore version of the South Beach diet.
Jeff Bezos.
Is that what the P stands for? Prime in 90X?
Shed the pounds by shedding your hair. The Bezos
it's the Ken diet
program.
Jeff Bezos. I have no idea.
Yeah, so I, like Ann said, I also did P90X for a little bit. I couldn't remember the guy's name. I believe he's also the inventor of the South Beach diet, which became P90X. Or was like P90X was a hardcore version of that, I think. So I can remember his name, but the most famous workout person that I know and I love is Billy Blanks. So that's what we went with.
The answer is Tony Horton.
Tony Horton.
Nope. No, not even a Jeff.
Tony Horton. All right, number 6. In what organ would you find the Circle of Willis? An arrangement of interconnected blood vessels allowing for blood flow throughout and across the midline of that organ from one side to the other.
What's going on? I'm a circle.
Let your blood flow through me.
Come on, we'll go through the heart. Have a few laughs.
Midline. Think about organs with a midline.
Yippee-ki-yay, midline.
So, I mean, the brain does have a midline, the corpus callosum, which, I mean,
is that your secret identity when you go to conventions? You're
corpus callosum.
Your corpus callosum, the Greek god or whatever.
Of engorged corpses.
I kind of like the brain. I don't know. I've never heard of the Circle of Willis. The only Circle of Willis I know is when we get into a circle and watch Die Hard.
Yeah. That's appropriate.
And we chant Willis.
Willis.
I was thinking the liver's kind of divided into 2 parts.
Yeah. That's why I thought I've never heard of it in the brain or heart, so I was thinking lower. I like liver or brain.
Both tasty options. Although liver's gross. Don't eat liver and kidneys. That's like the garbage parts of animals.
So we were stuck kind of on the midline, and we're thinking of the front to back line of the brain, and we're thinking of a substantial organ. Didn't think it was the heart, and you want a lot of blood vessels, I guess, in your brain. So we said brain.
We had the exact same conversation. We thought there's a line in the middle of the brain,
which is called the corpus callosum.
Jeff said it was the corpus callosum. So,
according to Jeff,
yeah, we were between brain and liver. Jeff said there's a lot of gross stuff in the liver and not to eat it. We took that under advisement, and then we said, let's go with brain.
The answer is brain. Good
sweet.
job, guys.
Sweet.
Number 7, 2 parts, and you must get both answers.
Uh-oh.
Part 1. What is the bloody Shakespearean play about a Roman general engaged in a violent cycle of revenge with Tamara, Queen of the Goths? Part 2. Who is the hilarious roommate of Kimmy Schmidt, who at one point auditions for Spider-Man 12 in the Broadway musical Spider-Man 2, Too Many Spider-Men?
That show's underrated.
What's the name of that wine? What is he singing again?
Pinot Noir.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to go back. I want to be a baby.
The character, I think, from Kimmy Schmidt, the roommate, Titus Andromeda, Titus. And I know that that's obviously very close to the Shakespearean play.
You want to go Titan Andromeda and Titus Andromeda?
Let's go Titus Andromeda, I think is the name of the play. So then the character, I want to say Titus Andromedus for the character. So
Okay.
Titus Andromeda for the play, Titus Andromedus for the character. I feel like we're close. I don't know if that's it.
Okay.
So Jeff had the name of the character, and I had the play, so you can take the
Yes, I'm a huge fan of the non-committal Titus Andromedon.
And I said the play was Titus Andronicus.
That's correct.
Very close, though, guys. You were definitely on the right track.
Mwah.
All right, number 8. Naturally occurring instances of leprosy have been reported in humans, primates, red squirrels, and what other animal whose first and last letters are vowels?
We're locked in.
Iguana.
Okay, iguana.
All
We'll
right.
go with your first guess.
So I recommend, if you like 90s movies, there's a movie with Scott Bakula where he plays an aging quarterback who enrolls back into college because he never graduated to play quarterback for a team, Texas State. And this has Sinbad, has a young Jason Bateman, Larry Miller, Hector Elizondo, Kathy Ireland is a football kicker. Anyway, their mascot at the end of the movie pulls a fake gun on Larry Miller from 10 Things I Hate About You, and it's an armadillo. So that's what we went with.
So we were between an emu and an iguana, and we were just thinking which one would be, more likely to have leprosy. Which, good conversation, but we went with iguana.
Yeah, it's armadillo. Iguana's a really good guess. Number 9. Robert Galbraith is listed as the author of a best-selling series of crime novels about Detective Cormoran Strike and his assistant Robin Ellicott. The series includes well-known books such as The Cuckoo's Calling, The Silkworm, and Career of Evil. However, the Robert Galbraith who wrote these books does not exist and is actually a pseudonym for what extremely popular author?
All right, we're going to discuss for a moment, but I think I've got it.
And do you know any pseudonyms? I know that J.K. Rowling has done, I believe she's done books with men's names.
She has.
I don't know
Well, that's
what
true.
J.K. Rowling or Stephen King. What
I
do you
would
feel?
lean more Stephen King, but if I get the J.K. Rowling question, my family will never let me live it down. But I'm a big Harry
All right.
Potter fan. Let's go Stephen King.
All right, let's do it. Stephen King.
Shout out to Anne's family. She didn't mean to upset you. Jeff thinks it's J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, Stephen King's
Richard Bachman.
is Richard Bachman.
Yeah, I thought maybe he had more than one or something.
Stephen King is his birth name, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm done with everything. Oh my gosh.
Yep, J.K. Rowling.
And
no, I'm off. Just kick me off the team. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Okay, I'm sorry.
Right. Number 10. Other than the Vatican City, there are 2 countries completely surrounded by one other country. Name either.
Yeah, so I think I know both of them. Italy's famous for having 2 full enclaves, one being Vatican City. I think the other one is San Marino. And then the other one is the country that's entirely surrounded by South Africa, Lesotho.
We said Lichtenberg, which we think is a country.
It's either Lesotho or San Marino.
Nice.
All right. So in that second round, it seems that the fun guys have gone 9 for 10. So they increased their score substantially to 175. Three questions right for the Kentucky connection that time. And they're at 95. So it's going to come down to the final round.
All right. What are our categories, Sean?
All right. The first category is arrest. Second category is strategy. Third category is cartoon. Fourth category is treaty. Fifth category is Olympics.
All right. We're just going to mute and get our wagers here, and then we'll come back.
Yeah, if you want to discuss.
Okay, and the wagers are now locked in. So we're ready for the questions.
All right. Number 1, arrest. Growing up in the suburbs of Baltimore, Anna Montez was always a motivated individual. After achieving a master's at Johns Hopkins, Anna eventually found herself as a senior analyst with the Defense Intelligence Agency and their top Cuban analyst. So respected was she that the DIA selected her for their exceptional analyst program, and she often traveled to Cuba to study their military for the U.S. government. However, in 2001, Anna was arrested, and about 1 year later, she was sentenced to 25 years after pleading guilty to what crime? Number 2, strategy. A SWOT analysis is a technique used in business to help with strategic planning and business competition. When using the acronym SWOT, S-W-O-T, one can help organizations identify their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and what. Number 3, cartoon. In a popular cartoon, which team blasts off at the speed of light? Surrender now or prepare to fight. Meowth, that's right. Number 4, treaty. There was a treaty signed between the Lords States General of the United Netherlands and the Spanish Crown, marking formal recognition of the independent Dutch Republic and formed part of the Peace of Westphalia, ending the 30 Years' War and the 80 Years' War. What was this treaty that was signed on January 30th, 1648, although it's unclear if Herman, Lily, Grandpa, Marilyn, and Eddie were present? And number 5, Olympics. What country absolutely crushes it in the Winter Olympics, having won the most total medals in the 2018 Olympics in Pyeongchang and being tied for the most gold medals in that same Olympics?
All the answers are now locked in. So let's get the questions one more time, and we'll find out what the results are here.
Growing up in the suburbs of Baltimore, Anna Montez was always a motivated individual. After achieving a master's at Johns Hopkins, Anna eventually found herself as a senior analyst with the Defense Intelligence Agency and their top Cuban analyst. So respected was she that the DIA selected her for their exceptional analyst program, and she often traveled to Cuba to study their military for the U.S. government. However, in 2001, Anna was arrested, and about 1 year later, she was sentenced to 25 years after pleading guilty to what crime?
So we are 5 all the way down for all of our wagering. Try to be
conservative.
Very conservative. Jeff just said maybe she was arrested for espionage.
That's probably more what you're thinking. We said treason.
Okay. I have espionage.
Oh, nice, Jeff.
Dang.
Right. Number 2, a SWOT analysis is a technique used in business to help with strategic planning and business competition. When using the acronym SWOT, one can help organizations identify their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and what?
Neal and I pretty quickly knew one of the most troublesome parts of growing a business
day to day
is those TPS reports. Yeah. So we said TPS reports.
I'm so mad because I did these in college, and that's the only one I couldn't remember. But we said teamwork.
Okay, so T is for threats.
It's not TPS reports?
Yeah.
What?
I feel like that's the thing holding us back.
Threats?
No, the TPS reports.
Oh.
We'd do an episode like every day if it wasn't for those.
That's true.
In a popular cartoon, which team blasts off at the speed of light? Surrender now or prepare to fight? Meowth, that's right.
Brings me back to my younger years enjoying Pokemon. This is Team Rocket.
I bet you rooted for Team Rocket, didn't you?
No, not really. I was a Brock kind of guy.
Okay.
And just based on Meowth, we went with Thundercats.
Oh.
Sorry. That was He-Man.
That's also terrible timing.
It is Team Rocket.
Were they the bad guys?
Yeah.
Oh, they were. Okay.
But they always failed, so it didn't matter.
So they were like,
Meowth is.
I mean, were they bad guys or were they just the rivals?
They were like trying to like steal people's Pokemon and stuff.
Were they the Washington?
That's the game, you know?
Were they the Washington?
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Washington Generals of Pokemon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Right. What did you guys have for the treaty that was signed on January 30th, 1648? Although it's unclear if Herman, Lily, Grandpa, Marilyn, and Eddie were present.
Well, when you said Herman, when you said Eddie, right away we thought of that spooky family on the block, the Munster family. So we said the Munster Treaty.
And we figured it was a show. We didn't know which one. We thought Beverly Hillbillies. So we went with the Treaty of Beverly.
Yep.
That's a good guess. It is it's the Peace of Munster.
Yeah.
So.
Oh boy.
And last question: which country absolutely crushes it in the Winter Olympics, having won the most total medals in the 2018 Olympics in Pyeongchang, and being tied for the most gold medals?
We didn't know for sure on this one. We figured it was the same country that crushes it every year, and we just went Norway.
Going off of, not too familiar with the Winter Olympics, but I think in past episodes you guys have said something about South Korea, so we said South Korea.
Right. The answer is Norway.
Oh my gosh. You don't have to read the scores.
Yeah, that's okay. I've got it written here.
Okay, that'll conclude the game. It looks like the bet of 15 all the way down did not pan out this time for the Kentucky Connection. They will end with 20 points. But with 4 answers correct in that final round, looks like the fun guys got 15 points, and they'll be the cream of the crop with 190.
The cream of the crop!
That was a hard-fought game, Team Kentucky Connection. That was a
lot of things just came up our way.
Yeah, I mean, the first round, we both were having some trouble, and it kind of clicked in for us. But great round of applause to Sean. Great written game there, man.
Thanks. It was fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry about the riddle question.
Hey, no, it's all part of the game.
Love a good riddle on this show.
Yeah, just because we didn't get the riddle doesn't mean someone at home won't get the riddle. That's what the beauty of the podcast is. But we appreciate you writing that game for us, Sean, for being a Patreon supporter, and also being local, too. We're going to have to maybe go to trivia with you and your wife at some point. But is there anyone you'd like to give a shout-out to or anything you'd like to say? Any parting words?
Yeah, thanks for everyone who play-tested this quiz for me. I know you guys know Joe Wen.
Oh, yes.
And a lot of my friends here and my wife, Julie, who's upstairs right now.
Well, shout out to Julie. Thank you for helping with this game, and thanks to everyone who play tested it. Let's go to Ann Harkins. You're from Eastern Kentucky. Thank you for joining us today. We talked about how important music teachers are and teachers in general, but any last words from you?
Nope. I've had a lot of fun. Thank you for having me. I want to give a shout out to the siblings chat. That's my brother and sisters, or husbands, and Ben. And a lot of them are listeners. They were real supportive when I was really anxious about being on today. Of course, once they hear that the J.K. Rowling thing, they may just kick me out of the chat. But no, it was a lot of fun. So thank you. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, of course. Thank you for joining us. And yes, hello to all your family. Thank you guys for listening as well. We really appreciate that. And last but not least, Seth, you reached out, told us that you enjoyed the show, and we were really happy to have you on. So thank you for joining us today. And any last words or shout outs from you?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Like I said, I've been listening for about 2 months and am obsessed. I only have like 40 episodes left, so listen to it religiously. So I appreciate you guys and having me on. You guys are great.
You got to start rationing those out.
But it also just seems insufferable.
Thank you so much for listening.
No, but I'm definitely going to have to become a supporter and hear some of those After Dark episodes. Those were intriguing, and hearing you guys joke around be a lot of fun. But yeah, thanks for having me. And we did we held our own for a little bit till the final round. So
yeah,
thanks
you're
so
a good
much for
partner.
coming
You're
on.
fun to play with, and thanks you guys, and thanks for Sean for writing it. So
Yeah, no, nice to meet you guys.
yeah, you too.
Well, we appreciate all of your time and support and for spreading the word about the show. So we really appreciate that. Hello to Matt over in LA. Hope he's surviving his trip to Patagonia. And Ken, thank you for coming in halfway through to grace us.
No problem.
With your presence. And just look for Ken to be coaching the Blackhawks coming up soon. Hopefully there's going to be a turnaround there.
Assistant coach.
What board battles that we said?
Yeah, play hard on the puck and take it to the blue paint, you know?
There you go. With those words, let's end this episode. For Jeff, Ken, Sean, and Seth, and a absent Matt, my name is Neal, and that was Triviality.
Hey, so is it bad to say to you and the Blackhawks, hey, you're going to need a bigger goal?
Yeah, it's true.
Sure seems like it.